couple of years back, the world was absolutely shocked when this video was released, allegedly showing Ezra Miller attacking a woman. This is what we saw.
You learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight?
Now, it was all widely speculated at the time. Was it real confrontation? Was it faked? Who knew? Well, guess what? Years later, the victim has spoken out, and oh my goodness, does she have some tea to spill. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the news and true crime stories of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, the madness that is Ezra Miller just seems to be continuing at this moment. Now, please bear in mind, during this video, I know that Ezra Miller likes to be addressed as they and them. I may accidentally slip up and call them he or him. That is not intentional. I am trying my best to address them as they would like to be addressed, but I mean no disrespect if I make a mistake. With that being said, before we get into the story, a little bit of housekeeping. Firstly, YouTube human reviewer, I see you lurking. I'm not going to say any trigger words or anything that's going to offend your ear holes. And to everyone else awesome enough to have clicked on this video, hi, welcome, how you doing? If you love news and true crime on the daily served with a little bit of sass and gobbiness, which is basically this, right? You need to make sure you click on that subscribe button, like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And let's jump into this, shall we? Oh my goodness. Now, this all happened in Iceland. And I ain't even going to attempt to say that because I know I'm going to butcher it. But when Ezra first started to show up at this particular place, they were, portraying unusual behavior. But the people there thought, eccentric whims of a celebrity, all that jazz, right? Renya, the bartender, said if they weren't lighting incense or candles or even bringing in their own Bluetooth speaker and playing it super loud to overpower our music, there was always something. We'd approach them and say, hey, do you mind? There are other people here. It was a bit of a chuckle, and then they would go, yeah, sure, and they'd stop, only to continue it a little bit later. However, the day that they assaulted the woman, this was back in April 2020. Now, her initial interactions with Ezra felt to be like, a little bit of a jokey joke, like egging each other on, barbing them a little bit, but all in like a playful mood. She told Miller to meet her in the smoking area, but she said she meant it as a joke. And it appeared that Ezra was took it as one when they were inside. But then a friend of the woman approached Ezra and told them that he'd heard the actor didn't want to fight. Quote, my friend didn't have to say that, the woman allowed. It was just a joke, obviously. But Ezra took it literally and got super mad and came running outside. And that's when one of the woman's friends started recording. So, setting the scene here, you've got Ezra and this woman, and it seems like they're joking, they're egging each other on, they're having a laugh, they're joshing each other, that kind of thing, right? And the woman initially thinks, you know what, he's getting the joke, we're having a bit of a laugh, there's nothing in it, it's just a little bit of fun, right? But then one of the woman's friends is like, noticing, hang on a minute, the antennas are going up and the warning alarms and the set of bells, everything is going off, thinking, yeah, I don't think he's really taking this as a joke. And in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, wisely turned on the camera for a phone. Yeah, absolutely. The victim says, I think it's just fun and games. And then it wasn't. All of a sudden, Ezra, is on top of me, choking me, still screaming in my face if I want to fight. My friend who's filming sees that obviously not joking, and it's actually serious. So he stops filming and pushes them, Ezra, off me as they're still trying to fight me. 2 guy friends of mine are actually holding Ezra back as they're screaming. Ezra's screaming, "This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted." Now, at the time of the interview, when the woman, is speaking out, it's unclear whether she was aware that Miller identifies as non-binary, i.e. they and them. The woman alleges that Ezra spat in a friend's face multiple times, which, bear in mind, during that period, it was the lockdown, wasn't it? The Bud Light, as we like to call it here. So doing that was scary because you didn't know if they had the Bud Light and then they possibly passed it to you. Do you know what I mean? So that was dangerous then, especially when in those early days we didn't have a full understanding of what we were dealing with, with what was going around. Now, eventually she says that the bartender, Renier, ran outside to break up the fight. Thankfully, Renier at the time had arrived early for his shift that day and had seen the woman in the smoking area with her friends and Ezra when he saw the situation going way out of hand, which, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, is an understatement. But he decided, luckily, to get involved. He says, Miller grabs me by the throat as I'm trying to usher them out the back door and tells me they're not leaving, Renier said. He added that Miller repeatedly claimed that the woman's friends had pushed them, which they didn't. So Ezra's turning around and saying there, the friend, the woman's friend started it. The woman's friend started it. Well, I'm sorry, but if the woman's friend started it, then, I mean, it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have been acceptable anyway doing it this way, but why didn't you then go towards the woman's friend rather than the woman that wasn't aggressive to you in the first place, allegedly? Like, it don't make sense, does it? It don't make sense. But anyways, Renier says they proceeded to spit in my face several times, which, again, during the early doors of the whole Bud Light situation was really, really scary and not nice to do. Understatement, I know. So with the final push, I closed and locked the door. Renier then ran to lock the tavern's front entrance, where Ezra, who had run along the perimeter of the building, was banging on the door and screaming to be let in. This is scary. Eventually, the actor was ushered into a car by 2 local friends and driven away. Variety has corroborated Renier's account with 3 other sources, including management at that bar. So it's not just a he said, she said situation. There are literally witnesses that have come forward and be like, yeah, Renier's right. Like, Renier's account, yeah, that's what we saw too. Like, this is insanely scary, right? And to now find out absolute confirmation that this video that was released 2 years ago is actually allegedly, okay, Ezra Miller seriously assaulting a woman with a chokehold and putting her to the ground. Police, where you at? Where are you at? The woman reported the incident to the police, but then didn't press any charges. Renier was allowed to finish work early and took the test the next morning, which thankfully came back negative. Renier says, I do believe the incident at the bar was ruined because of Ezra's reputation thoroughly in Iceland. They stopped coming to other bars shortly after. Renier, who left the bar recently and now works at a Chinese restaurant, was struck by how quickly Ezra turned against the local community, leaving a trail of destruction in their path. He says, I thought they were great to begin with. We talked about all kinds of spiritual things and went deep into philosophy. Hey, those kind of conversations I love to have as well. Fair play. Renier says they had this wonderful mask on as this total sweetheart with a completely open mind. who's ready to help and talk to anyone. But as soon as someone does something they don't agree with or doesn't like, it's their fault and not Ezra's. I'm just going to put it out there. Narcissist much? Ooh. But the day the video of Ezra choking the woman in Iceland went viral, someone else saw it on their Twitter feed and she called him immediately. Ezra was in Iceland in a car with a friend. I could hear the friend or maybe friends, I don't know, laughing, and Ezra was in a very good mood. Ezra was like, don't worry, it's just a misunderstanding. It's nothing. Nothing happened. And this is the thing, right, that really, really angers me. He has been allegedly, right, caught on camera attacking a woman, putting her in a chokehold and slamming her to the floor, right? And he's so blasé about it. Oh, it's a misunderstanding. Nothing happened. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Well, do you know what? He's quite right, because at the end of the day, what consequences did Ezra Miller get in response to all of this? Well, from where I'm standing, absolute zero. And especially with everything that's going on at the moment with Tokata, oh my goodness, where are they? Where is Ezra Miller? Because in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, from what I've read so far and all the research I've done so far, I'm sorry, but they need to be found fast, and now need to be found. Because this is absolutely insane. Like, the woman in Iceland was just joking around, and he takes it as read that it's like, and actually, allegedly, like, attacks her. Like, who does that? Who in the right mind does that? This is not, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, a safe person to be around with right now. And in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, I do fear for Tokata's safety. But she would also like to be known as Gibson. So Tokata stroke Gibson's safety, I do genuinely fear for her safety right now. Especially around Ezra Miller. In my humble opinion, she needs to be back home, away from Ezra Miller, whilst he gets his shiz sorted out and his act together. Because I'm no doctor, don't get me wrong, okay? But just from where I'm standing, Ezra needs help. Do you know what I mean? And Warner Brothers, where you at, there's only so long you can stay silent. Again, keep the same freaking energy. You pretty much get rid of Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beasts, the film that pretty much no one cares about and no one watched. But then, when it comes to Ezra Miller, you do nothing with him? Like, nothing at all? Like, nothing to condemn them? Or, take some action? But you do that with Johnny Depp, based on allegations that, recently he just won a defamation suit against Amber the Turd. So, keep the same freaking energy, Warner Brothers. This is insane. There's only so long you can continue to stay silent until you have to start doing something. You have to start saying something. This is insane. And I really, really hope that the police find Ezra soon. Because, again, my humble opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, I really do feel that he is not a safe person to be around. And Tokata Gibson needs to be found and taken back to her parents in a safe place again, where she is clearly loved and cared for. Like, the parents are breaking their hearts. With everything that's going on at the moment, I freaking feel for them. So, guys, enough with my gob. It's your turn now. Gob off with your comments in the section down below. What do you think with the Iceland victim breaking her silence? What are your thoughts on all that madness? Let me know. And if you loved this video and love news and true crime on the daily, served with a little bit of sass and gobbiness, which is basically this, right? You need to make sure you click that subscribe button, like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And until the next time, you guys, laters.